I'll never forget that night. It was supposed to be our anniversary, 5 years together. I had everything planned. Reservations at her favorite restaurant, a small gift she'd been hinting at for months, and a quiet evening, just the two of us. But instead of celebrating, I sat alone in our apartment, staring at a text message that shattered everything. Hey babe, something came up. The girls are throwing a last-minute party for Megan. You don't mind, right? Didn't even ask. Didn't even pretend to care about our plans. Just told me she was going. I clenched my phone so hard my knuckles turned white. I should have seen it coming. The late nights, the sudden change in how she dressed, how she started guarding her phone like it was her damn life. But this was straight-up disrespect. I called her. Straight to voicemail. Texted. Nothing. So I did something I never thought I'd do. I got in my car and drove to that party. The moment I pulled up outside, my gut told me everything I needed to know. Loud music, flashing lights, drunk idiots stumbling onto the lawn. This wasn't a small girl's night. This was a full-blown rager. And then I saw her. Brianna, my wife, wrapped around some guy on the porch like I didn't even exist. Laughing, touching his chest, her lips inches from his ear. I felt my stomach drop. I wasn't angry yet. Not yet. I was still in that numb state where your brain refuses to process what it's seeing. So I walked up, right through the crowd, right up the steps. She didn't even notice me, too busy giggling at whatever the hell he was whispering to her. I stood there, waiting, and when she finally turned her head and saw me, I'll never forget her expression. Not guilt, not shame, annoyance. What the hell are you doing here, Ethan? She snapped, pulling away from the guy like I was the one embarrassing her. I stared at her. I couldn't even speak. She was wearing a dress I'd never seen before, short, way shorter than what she usually wore. Her makeup was different too, heavier, like she wanted attention, and she got it. The guy, some douchebag in a designer shirt, gave me a smirk. Yo man, you good? I ignored him, kept my eyes on her. It's our anniversary, I said, my voice eerily calm. I had reservations. I waited for you. She rolled her eyes. Rolled her damn eyes. Oh my God, Ethan, it's just a party. You're so dramatic. I was gonna make it up to you. Make it up to me. The audacity. I should have left then. Should have turned around and walked away before I did something I regretted. But I didn't. Instead, I said something that made the whole party go silent. Are you cheating on me? For a split second, her face froze. Just a flicker, but I caught it. The guilt, the panic, before she masked it with fake outrage. Are you serious right now? She practically screamed, shoving me back. You're so insecure, Ethan. This is why I don't tell you things, because you act like a psycho. I glanced at the guy she was with. He looked way too smug, too comfortable. I turned back to her. Answer the question. She laughed. Laughed. You're insane. I don't have to deal with this. Then she grabbed his hand, right in front of me, and that's when something inside me snapped. I didn't yell, didn't beg, didn't even argue. I just looked at her, really looked at her, and realized something. She wasn't the woman I fell in love with. She was a stranger, a liar, a cheater, and I was done. Without another word, I turned around and walked away. She didn't chase after me, didn't even call my name. That night, I packed a bag and left. No explanations, no long goodbye. And for 2 years, I disappeared. No calls, no texts, no social media. I ghosted her out of existence. But now she's at my doorstep, pounding on the door, tears streaming down her face. And for the first time in my life, I don't feel a damn thing. I stood there, staring through the peephole. 2 years. 2 damn years. And now she's here? She looked different. Not in a good way. Messy hair, mascara streaked down her face, biting her nails like she was on the verge of a breakdown. She looked desperate. I didn't move. Didn't unlock the door. Ethan, please, open up. Just let me talk to you. Her voice cracked, but I felt nothing. Absolutely nothing. I should have been furious. Should have wanted revenge. But the truth was, I had moved on the second I walked away that night. More banging. Ethan, I know you're in there. Just please. I leaned against the wall, shaking my head. The nerve. The absolute audacity. Finally, I opened the door. Just a crack. Enough to see her, but not enough to let her in. She gasped like she couldn't believe I was actually standing in front of her. Oh my God. Ethan. I didn't say anything. Just watched her. Let her squirm. She wiped at her face, trying to put herself back together. I know I don't deserve this, but please. I need to talk to you. Can I come in? I let out a short laugh. No. Her mouth opened, closed, then opened again. Like she wasn't expecting that answer. Like she thought she could just waltz back into my life. I made a mistake, she whispered. I tilted my head. Which one? She flinched. Good. Her hands trembled as she hugged herself. Ethan, I was stupid. I didn't know what I had until I lost it. I miss you. I miss us. I raised a brow. You mean after you cheated? After I walked in on you throwing our marriage away for some random guy at a party. She sucked in a breath. It wasn't like that. Don't. My voice was sharp. Cold. Don't lie to me. Not anymore. She swallowed, looking down. I didn't think you'd leave, she admitted. I thought you'd be mad for a few days, and then we'd be fine. I stared at her. She really thought I'd just take it? That I'd stick around while she disrespected me? I shook my head. You made your choice, Brianna. And I made mine. Her eyes filled with fresh tears. But I love you. I laughed. Not the kind of laugh that comes from being happy. The kind that comes when someone says something so absurd, you can't believe they actually said it. You don't love me, I said. You loved knowing I'd always be there. You loved the security, the stability. But me? The actual me? You threw me away the second something better came along. Her face crumpled. Ethan, please. I was stupid. I thought I was just having fun, but I lost the best thing I ever had. I leaned against the doorframe. And whose fault is that? She sniffled. I know it's mine. But I'm different now. I've changed. I looked her up and down. She looked different, sure. But change? No. If she had really changed, she wouldn't be here begging after 2 years. She took a shaky breath. Can we at least talk? Get coffee or something? Please, Ethan. Just give me a chance to explain. I smiled. You don't get a chance, Brianna. You got your chance, and you wasted it. Her lip trembled. She reached for my arm, but I stepped back. Her eyes darted behind me. Is there someone else? I didn't answer. Because it didn't matter. Because even if there wasn't, she would never, ever be an option again. She let out a choked sob. I'm sorry. I nodded. Yeah, you are. Then I shut the door in her face. The second the door clicked shut, I exhaled, pressing my back against it. The sound of her muffled crying seeped through the wood, but I didn't care. Not anymore. She could cry all night for all I cared. 2 years too late. A part of me expected her to keep knocking, keep begging, but instead, I heard a shaky breath, then footsteps fading down the hallway. Good. I walked away, back to my kitchen, grabbed a glass of water, and stared at my reflection in the dark window. I wasn't the same guy she left behind. That guy had been patient, forgiving, willing to compromise. That guy had sat alone on our anniversary, waiting for a wife who never gave a damn about him. That guy was dead. My phone buzzed on the counter. A text. I'll be in town for a few days. If you change your mind, please call me. I smirked, shaking my head. She still didn't get it. There was no mind to change. I deleted the message without replying. But just as I set my phone down, another buzz. This time, from someone who actually mattered. Hey, you still up? Was thinking about you. A different name. A different woman. One who never lied. Never took me for granted. Never made me feel like an afterthought. I picked up my phone and typed back. Yeah, I'm up. Come over. Because unlike Brianna, she actually deserved my time. 15 minutes later, there was a soft knock on my door. A knock that didn't feel desperate, didn't carry the weight of betrayal. Just simple. I opened it, and there she was. Olivia. She gave me that small smile, the kind that didn't ask for explanations or drag the past into the room with her. Hey, I said, stepping aside to let her in. She walked past me, comfortable, like she belonged here. Because she did. She had been there through my silence, through my rebuilding. No pressure, no expectations, just understanding. She slipped off her coat, glancing at me. You okay? I hesitated, then nodded. Yeah. She didn't push. Didn't ask why I suddenly needed company at 1 a.m. That's what I liked about her. She didn't force herself into my thoughts. She let me bring them to her when I was ready. I watched as she made her way to the couch, curling up like she'd done 100 times before. Her presence was calm, steady, the opposite of what had just been banging on my door. I sat down next to her, and she leaned her head against my shoulder. A long silence stretched between us, the kind that was comfortable, not awkward. Then, after a moment, she said, she came back, didn't she? I didn't even flinch. She just knew. Yeah, I admitted. She sighed. Figures. That was it. No judgment, no probing, Just a simple statement. I exhaled slowly, running a hand through my hair. She thought I'd take her back. Olivia scoffed. Because she's an idiot. I laughed under my breath. Yeah. Her fingers traced lazy patterns on my arm. And you? I turned my head slightly. What about me? You're not thinking about it, are you? Her voice was light, but there was an edge to it. I shook my head. Not even for a second. She smiled. Good. Another silence. But this time, it felt different. Like something unsaid was hanging between us. I turned to face her fully. You were right. She raised a brow. About her. The night I left. I let out a slow breath. You told me she'd come back when it was too late. Olivia smirked. I hate being right. I chuckled. No, you don't. She laughed softly, then met my eyes. Something shifted. And before I could think too much about it, I leaned in. She didn't pull away. Didn't hesitate. Just met me halfway, her lips soft, warm, real. And for the first time in years, I wasn't thinking about the past. I was exactly where I was supposed to be. Her lips tasted like warmth, like something steady, something real. Nothing like the artificial sweetness Brianna used to smear on before going out, chasing attention that was never enough. Olivia kissed me like she meant it, like she wasn't trying to prove something or play a game. Just honest. Just her. When we pulled apart, she looked at me, searching my face. You sure? She asked softly. I nodded. Yeah. She held my gaze a second longer, then just nodded back, like that was all she needed to hear. No dramatics. No conditions. That's what I liked about her. She didn't need me to be broken for her to stay. She was here because she wanted to be, not because she was looking for a reason. She curled up beside me, head against my chest, and we just sat there. No words. No expectations. Just quiet. I should have been overthinking it. Should have been replaying Brianna's voice at the door, the pathetic look in her eyes when she realized she had no power over me anymore. But I wasn't. She was already gone. At some point, Olivia fell asleep. Her breathing was slow, steady, like she trusted me to be here when she woke up. And for the first time in a long time, I let myself breathe with her. Morning came fast. Sunlight leaked through the blinds, stretching across the floor. Olivia stirred, groaning as she pulled the blanket over her head. Too early, she muttered. I smirked. It's almost 10. She peeked out, squinting at me. Hate that. I chuckled, brushing a strand of hair from her face. Coffee. God, yes. She sat up, stretching, her shirt slipping off one shoulder. And pancakes. You owe me. For what? For making me wake up. I shook my head, pushing off the couch. Fine. But you're on dish duty. She groaned dramatically, but followed me into the kitchen anyway. I started the coffee, listening to her hum some song I didn't recognize as she leaned against the counter, watching me move. It felt normal. Easy. Like this was always supposed to happen. Halfway through flipping pancakes, my phone buzzed on the counter. I didn't even need to check to know who it was. Olivia glanced at the screen, her expression unreadable. She's not going to stop, you know. I exhaled, picking up the phone. 17 missed calls. 5 new messages. All from Brianna. I opened the latest one, just out of curiosity. Ethan, please. Just talk to me. I made a mistake, but we can fix this. I need you. I locked my phone and set it back down. I don't care. I said simply. And I meant it. Olivia smiled. Good. I plated the pancakes, sliding one in front of her. She took a bite, moaning dramatically. Damn. Maybe I will do the dishes. I laughed, sitting down across from her. The past was a closed door, and I wasn't opening it again. My phone kept buzzing. Over and over. I didn't even have to look. Brianna wasn't going to stop. Olivia raised a brow as she chewed, stabbing another piece of pancake with her fork. Not even curious what she's saying now. I smirked. Not in the slightest. She grinned. Proud of you. The phone buzzed again. Then again. Then it started ringing. I sighed, finally picking it up, but instead of answering, I just blocked the number. The moment I did, silence. Peace. Olivia clapped dramatically. Damn. That was sexy. I rolled my eyes, shoving a piece of pancake in my mouth. I do what I can. She leaned back, sipping her coffee. You know she's gonna find another way to reach you, right? Let her. I shrugged. It doesn't change anything. And it didn't. Whatever she had to say, whatever pathetic excuse she was about to throw at me, it was too late. She could beg, cry, scream. It wouldn't undo the past. My phone vibrated again, but this time it wasn't a call or a text. A notification popped up from an unknown number. Brianna sent you a message request. I scoffed, shaking my head. She's desperate. Olivia grabbed the syrup bottle, tilting it dramatically over her pancakes. What's she saying? I debated ignoring it, but curiosity got the better of me. I opened the request. Ethan, I know you blocked me. Please, just hear me out. I need to talk to you. It's important. I showed the message to Olivia. She raised a brow. Sounds like manipulation. I nodded. Yeah. I just need 5 minutes. Please. 5 minutes. That's what she wanted. Like she deserved any more of my time. Olivia tilted her head. What are you thinking? I set my phone down, wiping my mouth with a napkin. I think I'm done with breakfast. She smirked. So you're gonna ignore her? I stood, stretching. Nah. I'll give her 5 minutes. Olivia's brows lifted. Seriously? I grabbed my phone, unlocking it. Yeah. She studied my face for a second, then nodded. All right. But just 5. I tapped out a reply. Fine. 5 minutes. 1 call. After that, we're done. Not even 10 seconds later, my phone rang. Brianna. I put it on speaker. Olivia sat up straighter, arms crossed, ready to witness whatever train wreck was about to happen. I answered. 5 minutes. Go. There was silence at first. Then a deep inhale. Ethan, Brianna's voice was shaky. Thank you. God, I don't even know where to start. You're wasting time, I said flatly. She let out a nervous laugh. Right? Okay. Look, I know I messed up. I know I don't deserve another chance, but please, you have to hear me out. Already doing that. I glanced at the clock. For minutes. She sniffled. I was stupid, Ethan. I thought I was living my best life. I thought I needed to be free, to have fun, but I lost myself. And I lost you. I said nothing. Let her talk. Let her dig her own grave. I should have never let you walk away. I should have fought for us. I should have, her voice cracked. I should have chosen you. I leaned against the counter, unimpressed. But you didn't. She let out a shaky breath. I know. And I've paid for it every single day since you left. 3 minutes. Ethan, I miss you. I miss us. I miss how safe I felt with you. How much you loved me. I was an idiot for thinking I could do better. I scoffed. Better. She flinched. That's not what I meant. Yeah, it is. I cut her off. You thought you could do better. That's why you walked all over me. And now? You finally realize you screwed up, and you want me back? Silence. Then a whisper. Yes. 2 minutes. I exhaled slowly, exchanging a glance with Olivia. She was shaking her head, unimpressed. I turned my attention back to the phone. What happened, Brianna? Why now? Why after 2 years? She hesitated. And that's when I knew. There was something she wasn't saying. I just realized what I lost, she said, voice barely above a whisper. Lies. I straightened. No, there's something else. She inhaled sharply. Ethan, please. 1 minute. Silence. Then, barely audible, he left me. Oh, and there it was. The real reason. Not love. Not regret. Just loneliness. Just karma, finally slapping her in the face. I let the silence drag on, let her sit in it, let her hear the weight of what she had just admitted. Then, calmly, I said, Good. She gasped like I had physically hit her. Ethan, time's up. And I hung up. I stared at the phone for a second, then set it down. Done. Brianna was nothing but a ghost now. A faded regret from a life I no longer lived. Olivia let out a low whistle. Damn, that was brutal. I smirked. She deserved worse. She shrugged, swirling the last of her coffee in her mug. Yeah, but karma did the work for you. I exhaled, running a hand through my hair. It was strange. I thought I'd feel something, satisfaction, revenge, maybe even pity. But all I felt was peace. 2 years ago, I would have fallen for it. The tears, the begging, the sad little confession that she'd been left behind, just like she left me. But not this time. I had nothing left for her. No anger, no love, no hate. Just indifference. Olivia watched me carefully, then nudged my arm. You okay? I turned to her, really looking at her. The way she sat there so casually, like she'd always been a part of this home. The way she never asked for more than I could give, but somehow made me want to give her everything anyway. And that's when it hit me. I was okay. I nodded. Yeah. She smiled. Good. I picked up my plate, stacking it on hers. I'll do the dishes. Her jaw dropped in mock offense. Excuse me? We had a deal. I grinned. Yeah, well, turns out. I'm a better person than I thought. She laughed, shaking her head, but didn't argue. Instead, she stood, stretching with a small groan. All right then. If you're doing the dishes, I'm taking a nap. Lazy, I teased. She winked. Efficient. I watched as she strolled toward the couch, curling up against the cushions like she belonged there. And maybe she did. I turned back to the sink, running the water, scrubbing plates with ease. The weight I had carried for so long, the bitterness, the anger, it was gone. Brianna was my past. Olivia? She just might be my future.